Ghost Story, Freddy's Nightmare. Author, Becca. I took the gun and ran into the basement. Damn, it's so dark. The light from the lamps isn't bright enough. I heard the voices of the living dead everywhere. There it is. Right in the dark. It's one child. They are not fast, but they hide in the dark. The old walls are so discolored. I ran over and shot. With 2 bangs, it fell. I used my foot to stomp on its head. They are very crunchy, so they are very easy. Shouldn't waste ammo. Pro players should not waste bullets in these cases, just for the bad guys. Rumble slash. Got to that point. The ceiling is collapsing. There is only one open door left. I ran into it. The 2 girls immediately followed. Having only one door means. Here it is. Screaming. 2 rotten bodies came out from there, screaming and waving their hands to fight wildly. Eat 2 of my bullets right away. Should have changed to a sniper rifle before dealing with them. With these guys, if you use a gun and take 1 shot, your head will be blown off. That's true. I used a tickle and then kicked them. Fat. Very good. Sticky. They spit out blood. Then, go that direction. Take them all down. Just some odd things. The main thing is to judge and strike accurately. The video again. Oh, boring. During the exciting part, some movie clips were inserted. The girls are really entangled. I clicked through the video. What? Hey. That guy turned into a zombie. Damn it. That one is the boss of the level. Wait. Not yet. Where is it? Asian. My back was hit hard. Damn, there are other zombies. Damn. Cheating. No time yet. Change weapons. It's not time. They attack. So boring. I lost. I slammed the handle down on the table and held my head. How irritating. Got there and lost. Oh my god. I just saw the boss screaming, and before he could do anything, it crashed. Tone. God beat the holy thing. It's very difficult to get to the boss part. Going through a place full of zombies is not easy. What a big boss. Oh. So boring. Hey. Just shut up. What the hell were you yelling at just now? Why are we playing? No matter, he plays Resident Evil. Everyone who plays screams and shouts. Everyone plays. Go away. 3 guys play nonsense offline games. We also play Counter-Strike. Damn it. They formed a team to play shooting and it was boring. Shooting monsters is fun. With some violent and bloody games, the graphics are top-notch. The 3 games of formation and team shooting are no longer interesting. What's more, the shop owner comes out to complain. If you like it, keep it up. The shopkeeper whispered to the boss. Oh my god. Look at that. Why did you invest in buying a new computer to open a game store? They're all uneducated hooligans or teenagers who have dropped out of school, arguing and yelling all day long. The neighborhood group came down and people in the neighborhood condemned it. These kids are playing so many terrible games, man. These guys must have some mental problem. What if the children learn to follow? So angry. I rolled up my sleeves and planned to give this gossipy woman a fight, but they pulled each other out and yelled at me, demanding to call the ward. Why is it so cruel? It's just that I owe 1 month of game money. They're now holding my neck a bit. I told him to go back to my house and ask for my parents. Because he gives me 50,000 every day. Money for food, money for cigarettes, money for games. How can that be enough? Yet, every time my son comes home from college in the city, he gives him 2 or 3 million. Still asking if it's enough. More without children. Are you angry? When I got angry, they said I was causing trouble and scolded me for nothing. Truly infuriating. Gamers are all good. Hanoi is full of super cool cyber game rooms. The machine's configuration is super powerful, and the games are all new, hot games. Even the chair costs tens of millions. Ask why you're not good at it. That's why everyone wins the game, with an international level, or some champions and game masters. Watching the news makes me so angry. If I had the means, I would be far better than them. Many rich people even invest in their own cyber rooms in their homes. Or in Japan, internet rooms are like hotels, guests all have their own rooms, food and drinks are provided, and staying the night is no problem. Many children remained in their rooms, no one said anything, their parents were still serving them all the time. And I have to hang out in these grassy internet shops. Used all 3 old machines. Looks like the goods arrived here. But all the machines are in Hanoi. That's amazing, the internet shop above is renewed every year. That's right, now that the gaming industry is so vibrant, shops compete fiercely to attract players to their shops. It is said that many shops invite gamers to play to attract customers to learn from the experience, and even pay gamers to help them advertise. Crowds of guests even came just to watch the gamers play. Only these conscious places are the ones doing the trick. Don't know anything. Every country has a profession called gamer. Big bosses like the Blizzard Empire, Capcom or TWA all have the job of game testing. All the top-class gamers under them sit around playing games all day long. They are also provided with everything from war machines to assistants to fully plow the game and test them. Because being in Vietnam is so boring. Not giving gamers like me a chance to develop. To go home to get money and then go somewhere else to revenge. I sighed and walked home. Going home is boring. I wish life was like a game. It's because I'm more than capable of being a hero. Come back and argue with him. Still cursing me. It's the same words every time. This time I ran away from home. We also have to talk about dividing the inheritance. After all, I am the eldest child. Right now, some of my friends say that their parents gave them tens of thousands to do business right away. Don't even ask anything. Wherever you go, get the hell out of here. Don't be close. You have accomplished nothing. All day long there's only money. Stop playing those crazy, violent games. People study well and work to support their parents. And you haven't even graduated from middle school yet. Just dropped out of school in 7th grade. I feel humiliated about you. I threw the chair. My mother was scared and held my father back. Then she gave me a stack of 100,000 bills, otherwise I would have beaten him. Come on, sir. I'm glad my child doesn't do drugs, smoke, or steal anything. Let him slowly understand. I know my father and I know my mother is suffering. Every house has this or that child. It's okay for Hong to study well and be filial. My mother cried and said those words. Geez, it makes me even more angry. He and her. These two people. Look, I'm nothing. Just wait. I also got nearly 3 million. Let's make this batch fresh. Wait and see. I'll go this way. With this much, there's no reason to be afraid of not being able to do anything. Damn it. None of my friends would let me stay. Now they put it up in the classroom and teach life. When I went to the hotel, I spent 200,000 in one day. There are only so many game rooms in Hatin. Game stores aren't any better. 3 shabby old machines with no new games. Sitting all day downloading a good game but getting a virus. The shop owner also made a fuss. It's because he's not good at anything. With a little money I can't do anything. As for the internet shop owners, they are all the same, they don't know anything. If you don't hire gamers to come to the store, then who will you hire? I wonder if I'm stupid, hiring students who don't know anything. It's only been 5 days since I left home and I'm almost out of money. I still have enough money to stay at the hotel for 1 day but not enough money for the car back. No need to stress. Having 300,000 is enough to make a career. Just 5 minutes of playing the game is enough to turn the situation around. There is something to risk. I see you guys playing big games or betting. Especially the students, the 2 fighting teams bet against each other. I play a lot. In the past, no one was equal to me. No one is strong enough to beat me. Many days I collect money and win tens of thousands. Now use the old job again. Who will we challenge? Students are the easiest to steal their money. Damn. Suddenly those students lost and refused to share the money and even called their parents to come. Those guys even called the local police to arrest me for betting. These devil kids made me run away. But having the police catch you is very troublesome. As soon as they heard that I was from the countryside, they thought I was like a group of criminals who invited their children to break the law in disguised gambling or entice children to do something. Those men and women made a fuss. What an ignorant bunch. Seeing the 3 video games making a lot of noise about depraved cultural products or corrupting, poisoning students. It's nonsense and nonsense. People in big provinces are more stupid than small provinces. Phew. The first time being chased by the police was really scary. I'd run quickly across the street if I didn't get caught. At that time, the car's screeching sound was really loud. Looks like there was an accident. It was worth it for the guys to chase after me. What can I say, but when it comes to actions, I'm the best. Wanted to try it for a long time. It turns out that I'm also very talented, but I'm a bit compatible with the police. I sat on the corner of the street to rest. It's so miserable in this alley. Near the main road. There are only a handful of 1 or 2 small hotels. Let's see. Maybe cheaper than where I live. I walked back and forth through the alley and found it deserted. The lamppost is full of drawings and writing. Deep in the alley, all the doors are closed. The road in the alley is bumpy, with potholes hidden in broken sewers and ditches. Still digging in long, unfinished rows. So there are no ghosts around here. There is a hospital that is blocked. Then the road flooded. There are a few vacant lots right next to it. It's really dark in here. Hatin's weather this season is always gloomy. There probably aren't many virtual living places like Hong Kong Alley here. I passed and walked backwards. Well, there is an internet shop here. On the 2nd floor of this house. At first I didn't stop by. There is a sign that says Gamers Club. There. Choa. Found a quality place. This belongs to someone who is a pro and opened a gamers club in his house. Hiya, there is a group of legendary gamers who opened their own clubhouse to play together, and then opened it into a game store for customers to come admire their talents and learn skills. This is cool. Maybe I'll meet a few guys on the same front line and join. But in the countryside, all the chickens have no quality. Alright. Forever. Played for half a day and found it was just an ordinary internet cafe. The gamer club has been closed for a long time. About half a year ago. Sell the house now. The new owner opened an internet shop, but it was too busy, so the downstairs was rented out to sell bon bio. It's really a cake. The second floor is dark. The device is okay, but it seems like it was erased and reinstalled or something. There are no games at all. There are only a few office blankets and some children's games. There were 2 kids playing Super Mario and they kept shouting all the time. Then the 3 of us sat down to watch a movie. The girl who looks after the store sits and watches movies. I went to a corner to sit. The girl in charge of the store never mentioned that it was about to close. It's only 7 o'clock and it's about to close. I started it up and watched it on the computer. This machine is quite powerful. To download new games to play. Saw they had a stack of game discs. The cafe is probably a game left by the game club, so I looked at it very carefully. Oh. I've played 3 games already. Available on PS or Xbox systems. So gamers back in the day were also very stylish. I found a game CD. The cover is torn and looks like a zombie. That's okay. I put it in. Oh my god. The sign, "Your version is out of date," hasn't appeared yet. Do you want to download the latest version of the game? Okay. Right away. Just try it. To check what game it is. Probably Silent Hill. Huh. Don't ask anything anymore. No need to enter anything. And it loads extremely fast. A board pops up automatically. It's a new folder in Drive C. When I opened it, I saw that it automatically restored the old folders. After that, the blurry image files in the trash were automatically sent here and then reloaded. So this game was once installed on this device and has been deleted. When I'm done, I put the installation CD back in and it restores itself and is still loading the new version. So magical. Too many English words. I just click skip. I see the name of the game. Halloween Nightmare Beta. The name is too monotonous. Game for Halloween. Still a beta version. That is, the trial version of the game. No wonder the name is strange. The menu that appears is too messy. There is no introduction trailer. No information at all. The search so far has no game information. I was about to quit but saw it was loading again. What is this? Is there a game that can be played and loaded at the same time? Damn it. 2 young children came back and ran past me, shouting and talking. This guy is playing the beta version. So cool. The manufacturer released a beta table for gamers to try first. Then evaluate and post online. What a pity. Want to see it so much. But I have to go home. Yes. They go home. I tried clicking on the rating section. There is a small icon in the left corner. Oh, there are real ratings and comments. That sounds good. There are also prizes. Really? 1 million. Vietnamese money or dong? So I don't know. But 1 million Vietnamese dong is a lot. But what is this game? Open it again and see characters. Super boring. This is the type of game where you choose a character to go around. But it's all monsters or something. These 3 pictures look very familiar. So in this game players take on the role of monsters to destroy humanity. No wonder it wasn't a hit. But the beta games released by the publishers are all announced to attract players first. The girl in charge of the store came over and mentioned that it was about to close. That's it. It's about to close, so there's nothing we can do. This game is so boring. There's nothing interesting. Oh. These are the characters in famous horror movies. That girl suddenly exclaimed. Huh. Oh yeah. Looks so familiar. I said. You're a gamer and don't know. The girl said, still close to the screen. Who knows? I only play top games that shoot monsters or go through difficult scenes. These things look boring. Who are these characters? I pointed at the screen and asked him. This kid probably watches movies all day. I'm tired of movies. Okay. From left. Zombies are probably just zombies. And Jason is a murderer in the Friday the 13th film series. Freddy is a murderous demon in the A Nightmare on Elm Street series. Anyone who dreams of him chasing and killing them, if killed in the dream, will die in real life. As for the crazy clown, it's probably the thing that children fear the most. Then Bloody Mary is an urban legend about a high school girl who was tragically murdered, and whoever calls her name 3 times in front of the mirror will see Bloody Mary's shadow in the mirror. Then the other thing is... creating your monster. Oh, is it a horror game for Halloween? I knew that. These are all popular horror characters that people dress up as during Halloween. That means today. That girl said while admiring. Yes. Is it today? It's true that Halloween games and games like this are really popular in America. He was still waiting to see what game it was and then what would happen to the character. I scrolled to see who I should choose. The 3 clowns sound like they're for children. As for Bloody Mary, it probably scares the girls, just 3 long-haired witches. The Americans want 3 killers who kill people, they don't have psychopaths who usually hunt down students. I look normal. The 3 Hollywood horror movies are just around the corner. It's okay to create your own monsters, but there's no time. Choose zombie. Anyway, I often play zombie shooting games. But zombies are now just a bunch of trash in the game. All the shrimp appeared. For me it's too easy. It must be said that if you encounter a lot of zombies in the game, it will be even better and save you a lot of effort. That's why I wish real life was like the game. I clicked on zombies. The words zombie was selected also appear. That girl excitedly said, "That's great." Nowadays, there are many long series of movies about zombies. Zombie movies come out all the time. There are probably many horror games that have zombies. I only know the horror game Silent Hill. Silent Hill is so boring. All the scenes are slow, with all kinds of puzzles and 3 time-consuming mysteries. The plot is confusing. Less monsters. Still picking up 3 crappy weapons for a long time. Bored to death. In that game, 3 miscellaneous items can also be used as weapons. But the characters' moves are boring. Good horror games must have a lot of monsters to increase the action and the pace. I explained for a while. Loading is almost done. Select zombie and the game will load. I sighed and looked at the clock. It's already 8 o'clock. That's it. Phew. Huh. Power outage. Just finished loading, the power went out. Dark. That girl was still standing near me. Seeing its dark shadow. Everything was in darkness. Except for the street lights outside. Huh. So there's only a power outage here. Beep. Click. Oh no. Power is back on. So cool. The screen is back up. Huh. Is it still running? The game displays start. Huh. What to start? Ah. It's begun. I pressed close to the screen to see. The screen was dark, so it reflected the scene outside. Seeing me sitting and looking at the computer screen. Oh. There are zombies. Air. A zombie stood there. It was wearing a dirty women's shirt with a broken frame dangling from its eye. Its face only has a bit of skin, other than parts that are rotting. I'm amazed by this. It looks so real. I mean, like this internet shop made. Like. Coincidence. I pushed the chair back and stood up. Behind me. Looking at this screen, it was as if that female zombie was standing behind me in the position of the shopkeeper just now. Still wearing clothes and looking like her. No. It's her. I heard that sound. Of zombies. Zombies in the game. Not a reflection. This screen is showing the scene here. Right here. Belch. Ah. I shouted back. There it is. Medicine in the game. No. Just like that girl, she turned into a zombie. A real walking corpse. Her eyes were all blurred and still red. Just like the eyes of a fish that has been dead for a long time. The skin and blood stains and rotten and ulcerated areas cannot be fake. I stepped back. My leg. It doesn't move. There's no room to move. The zombie approached me with its 2 arms. Its throat has a hole and it makes moaning sounds. His hand touched me. Ah. Help, I fell backwards. It came closer and then lunged. Ah. I grabbed the chair. The chair fell on top of me, but I was just in time to stop it from falling forward. It bit the edge of the chair and pinched the back of the chair. Its face is very close to mine. The disgusting smell of corpses combined with the horrible damp smell, like a pile of trash after a rainy day. I pushed and kicked it out. Just throw it aside with the chair. I ran away in fright. I groggily ran to where the 3 kids were sitting watching a movie wearing headsets on their heads. I had just let out the sound of help when I saw them doing the same. Ulcerative skin. The kid sitting outside looked up and looked at me and screamed. His hand grabbed my face. Its mouth only has a part of skin, its jaw, jawbone, and neck bone are all exposed. The whole guy behind him jumped up and grabbed me. He grabbed my shirt. Fear rose into my throat. Their smell and their sound. It seems to be spreading everywhere. Without thinking, I threw the system at them. Just like a few machines falling to the ground. I jerked my body out, grabbed something and threw it at them. Nothing wins or loses. I ran down the stairs. Or more accurately, fall down completely. I slipped on the first step and fell down. My shoulders hit all the way down the stairs. My head hit the edge of the stairs. My hand was trying to catch it so it hit the floor. The pain all over my body is not equal to the fear. I crawled outside and raised my hands to call for help. Saw the silhouettes of 2 children walking out the door. They come back. That's it. They opened their mouths and screamed. They are now 2 terrible zombies. They raised their hands and grabbed me. No. I tried to resist. There's nothing to throw. One bit my hand. Ah. Its teeth are very strong. Bite in completely. The jaw is not iron but has biting force. The pain is bone deep. I shouted and punched my hands wildly. The other guy bit my other hand. They seemed to want to bite off my flesh. That's hurt. I just feel pain. I tried to drag myself. Because they are small, I can drag them around. I tried to suppress the pain. I grabbed the spoon right out of the bucket and stabbed it. I stabbed one in the eye. It didn't feel any pain and bit harder as if it had no feeling at all. I tried to grab its hair and pull it out. My hand pulled a piece of his hair and his sticky scalp completely peeled off, but he didn't stop. I used the whole bowl to hit his head hard. Then he grabbed a stick and hit that guy's head repeatedly. Even a soft drink bottle. Hoo-hoo. It hurt so much. Painful. I beat continuously. Just dragged them away. I fell down and clung to the wheeled vehicle. That's right. I pushed the whole cart down. Falling on someone. Trying to suppress the pain. They're gone. The car collapsed on top of them. I immediately got up and ran away. I saw something coming out of the house that was also a zombie. That woman's body was still hanging, her stomach was punctured and her intestines seemed to be leaking out. She groaned and was coming. Hoo-hoo-hoo. I ran out into the street. Tears and sweat poured out of my eyes. My arm hurts the most every time. At the beginning of the road. I see a group of people. Fear and doubt rose. In just 1 second I ran in the other direction. The shaking sound of those mangled bodies. They turned around and walked forward. There are men, there are women, both old people and children. All are zombies. No. It's a dream. Please say it's just a dream. No way. Although there are many movies where the whole world becomes a zombie or something like that. I don't like it. Nostalgic joke. Why did it turn out like that? Why? Because of that damn game. Damn it. I ran into the alley and cursed as I ran. What to do now? Don't say everyone becomes zombies. Are not. No way, how could it be like that? I bumped into a pile of parked motorbikes. Damn it. There were sounds everywhere so I had to run. I ran to a wall. Phew, so tired. What should I do now? Roar. Roar. Grr. Grr. Ha. Moaning and screaming behind the wall. Then the sound of them hitting the iron gate. Don't say. Behind the wall are all empty people. Oh my God. Where to run now? My heart beat strongly. My chest felt like it was about to burst. Running too fast makes me out of breath. I want to faint. Dizziness, lightheadedness, and not being able to breathe anymore. No, okay. Running a little bit makes me feel exhausted. Throat is so sore. Breathing in becomes more and more painful. Screamed. Must keep running. Or find a hiding place. Every time I ran through the door, I heard a loud banging on the door. There was a creaking sound of the iron door opening behind me, making me panic and run in another direction. It's all because of that damn game. Shouldn't have played that game. Shouldn't have left home to come here. Damn it. I want to go home right away. These 3 movies or games are really bullshit. Especially the 3 zombie storylines where the virus spreads and everyone becomes a zombie, then the main character has to fight to survive, then there are many people still alive and have to run from place to place, being chased by zombies. Being bitten into zombies. Air. No. I don't want it. I looked at my hand. Damn it, the bite. I wiped my hand vigorously on my shirt and then wiped it against the wall. No. What are the 3 main cities? Get rid of them. Who needs to go to those games? It hurts so much. I was bitten. The whole body hurts. Ah. A group of arms stuck out from the window near where I stood. They grabbed me, grabbed my neck, my shirt. Zombie faces poked out. No. I struggled to escape. Grr, grr. The sound of them moaning was right next to my face. Ah. One scratched and grabbed my cheek. Then I saw it nearby. Right where the wall and door just opened. There's something coming out. No. No. In my mind I thought the situation was worse. It's the boss that appeared. It's something like an oversized zombie. It was as big as a blown-up balloon. Its body is as usual, but its back and head are swollen. It looks unusual. Not like a bloated corpse. The skin is swollen and transparent and has blood veins. The way blood vessels swell is shocking. Revealed. As if it could burst at any moment and spill out blood and flesh. I know what it is. In games we call it zombie bomb. The zombies swell and come close to you. If you shoot it down, it bursts and you lose blood. It's like a suicide bomb, so we call it that. I didn't wait to see it more clearly and rushed away. Just noticed a zombie biting my ear. Ah. The strong pull caused it to bite off a part of my ear. I screamed in pain, clutching my ear. It hurt so much. I lost a piece of my ear. Half of my face was in pain. Help. Ah. I ran so quickly that I slipped down the ditch they dug right in the alley. Half of my body fell into the ditch on the sideline. Must run. I tried to lift myself up, but my throbbing arm was not strong enough. Hoo-hoo. The more I tried to crawl up, the loose soil came down. They're coming. I had to run into the ditch. No. That should be fine. Maybe they won't notice or the boss won't be able to get into the narrow space. That's right. Who knows, maybe at some point you can hide in a corner or in a sewer. I walked along the narrow ditch. Damn, this path is too narrow and deep. Try again to climb up. Hell, only half a person but not enough strength to climb up. I saw them falling down. Damn it. They tumbled into the ditch, the scene was more hideous. The whole alley chased away the zombies, then they rushed to grab me. Ah. The zombie grabbed my whole body and pulled me up. I was torn apart and dragged away by them. Die. My hand picked up a broken piece of concrete and tried to hit a guy. Hoo-hoo. It doesn't work. I punched him in the head. It hurts. One bit my leg. I had the momentum to kick him in the face. Then get up. I saw a shovel, so I quickly grabbed it and stabbed one guy in the body. Great. I hit him in the stomach. This guy's abdomen is rotten and only his spine is left. As soon as the shovel hit him, he screamed and jumped forward. Ha. He grabbed my face. No. His body is severed. Fall down. But his hand clung to my leg. Ah. I kicked it once but didn't get anything, and another guy bit me hard on the neck. That's hurt. What is this? The one biting my neck is something like a woman. Its hair is messy, but its body is tall and long, its legs are lanky, and it runs very fast. It bit me and pinched my body, then ran away like it was prey. I know it's another boss. It bit my neck so much that my body was in so much pain. The teacher needed his neck to break. A lot of blood flowed down. My arms and legs kept shaking and jerking. My vision fades. Then everything gradually went dark. I'm so sorry, I'm so sorry. Should have chosen something else. Choosing zombies is the worst. If only I had chosen a ghost or a murderer at that time, it would have been better. You can also choose a self-created monster easily. Or don't even bother playing the game in the first place. I wish I could do it again. Hoo-hoo. I told you no. Why are you still stuck here? This game keeps resetting. Since the power outage at the internet shop. Just like that. I don't know how many times. It turns out my first time was my best achievement. Damn it, that's called rookie luck. That's so bad. Dead again. Caught by the cake shop owner. There's no way. It hurts so much. Then I died again. Last time, I didn't have time to jump out the window. Reset again. Please stop. Please. Or let me choose something else. Please. Young police officer Keiko was restless and worried. She tried to explain to her colleagues and superiors what she witnessed, but they did not believe her. An inspector came and heard what she said. They already have a conclusion for that case, it's just a formality. Besides, if she continues to say those vague words, it will affect the police and make it difficult to get a conviction, so the inspector hopes that she will follow their instructions. And he even promised her a vacation. Keiko was upset but couldn't explain what she saw. Inspector Mizashima sighed and said, "Don't make things difficult for us. You fired a shot and it's a bit difficult for us to handle that." But she falsely claimed that she shot at Jason. Ma'am, that's a character in the movie. Is it Halloween and the police are confused? Or maybe the police heard about the urban legend of Jason's village and became so scared that they shot indiscriminately. That's exactly what the press will say. Keiko opened her hand and said tremblingly, "But I saw him clearly. He held an axe and stood there. When everyone cleaned up the scene, he was there. On the other side of the lake behind the grove of trees. He carried a human head. Not a costume. It's real. I chased him and shot him. Right in the heart. That's right. There are witnesses. That guy. He was very scared." The inspector sighed, opened the file, shook his head and said, "Takuya Nishino. There is a special tag. A disabled boy is in a center for special people. Being abused by parents. Was picked up by the sponsoring center. But then he escaped. Surely that illegal workplace took advantage of him like those illegal foreign workers. He was holding a paper mask. He must have been so scared because he saw them kill those workers and run away. He happily talked about Kamen Rider. He probably came up with the image of Kamen Rider protecting him. It must have been what she saw wrong. Luckily she didn't hit him, otherwise it would have been a big problem. There's nothing going on anymore. Fujita police found some antennas. They reported that a Yakuza gang had gone to that illegal workplace to catch a traitor who stole their money. They probably killed that guy and then went to the place where the other guy hid the money but couldn't find it, so they came back because they suspected those workers were keeping the money. So they arrested and brutally interrogated them to find out where that money was. Also, the behavior of the Yakuza. You know about cases like that. Now the urgent matter is how not to spread this news. These are all foreign workers living illegally in our country. But that murderer. He's still there. I saw him chasing us. I led that Takuya guy to escape. I had to jump in and swim away. He stood there holding an axe. I don't know why he's not dead anymore. I obviously shot him. Keiko was trembling so much that she bent down to draw out each word to describe. I told you to take a vacation. I will handle everything. Perhaps we should find some organization to help the victim's family claim the body. Then resolve this matter peacefully. We still have business with that Yakuza gang. That whole gang must be investigated. Don't talk nonsense about Jason anymore. Inspector Mizutani stood up, picked up the pile of files and said. Keiko looked at him with empty eyes and said, "So, who is the person I see? What is it? Where did he come from?" The inspector, ready to slap the file on Keiko's head, and said, "Maybe in a movie or some game." Keiko sighed and put it aside for now. Hearing them say everything was caused by the Yakuza, she thought it was Jason's killer. That area is also called Jason Village. For some reason, many people said they saw someone wearing a Jason mask there. There are so many rumors like that. After many years, it's still the same. I scanned the counter carefully to find the cheapest shampoo and the cheapest shower gel. So expensive. Still too expensive. I still have to buy razors, brushes, and whipped cream. Even though I tried to limit my use, those items still ran out. Time to buy. Also buy instant noodles and canned food. I passed by the food stall. They put the meals in boxes that look delicious. In Japan, convenience stores sell these prepared meals. Seafood rice, salmon rice, fried pork rice, eel rice, chicken rice. My craving for rice. I can only buy pre-made rice balls. So it's luxury. I picked up 5 rice balls of all kinds. Should I buy 2 more rice scoops? Should not. Still have to buy eggs and fruit. Fruit is very expensive. Probably. Buy another bowl of udon noodles in the box. This type of udon is very similar to Vietnamese bun can. I'll save it to eat next weekend. I even bought things to help Mr. Tan. Seeing a few students coming in was very noisy. They buy a lot of magazines, snacks like ice cream, candies, and all kinds of bread. They seem to be complaining that they have to buy ready-made foods like this, and then they don't have money to go shopping or buy tickets. Concert, or what's new in the magazine. I was afraid it would take a long time for them to pay, so I quickly went to pay. I quickly asked Sammy and Uncle Tone to come out and pay. Sammy buys a lot of things. His shopping cart was full. I helped Uncle Tone get some toilet paper rolls. He was weak and thin, becoming weaker and weaker. The salesman looked at us suspiciously. Especially the old clothes we were wearing. Sammy's look of excitement, craving for hot fried foods with Uncle Tone's exhausted, sick and slovenly look. Me too. I covered up my 2 broken buttons. I felt guilty. However, they didn't ask anything. There was a foreign salesman who was arranging things on the shelves and just looked at us. I think anyone who looks at us will know that we are foreigners working illegally in Japan. Illegal, undocumented workers. There is also no future. I just want to save a large amount of money. If you have money, you can live anywhere. In a few years, I will have enough money to return to Vietnam and open a shop. My whole family also told me not to go back and try to stay in Japan to work. Now everyone wants to go abroad. Sammy bought lottery tickets again. Uncle Tone took advantage of the signal here, so he called his son and daughter. Hear him talking and laughing with them. Only when he calls his children home does he smile. You all received the money last time, right? Then good. Remember to give 1 million to Uncle Nam to take care of Sin. It's almost the end of the year. When Sin gets down, please call him. Next week, our mother will coax us all together. Remember to offer her some of her favorite dishes. If you need anything, just say it. I'm afraid that our children won't have enough money to study. Now we just have a kindergarten, but it will cost a lot of money later. Grandpa will take care of everything. Dad. Or Dad should come home. Anyway, my family has paid off all the debt. Dad has been in a foreign country for 20 years. Never came back. We are now out of poverty. Oh. When I come back, it will be hard for everyone. We have to feed that. Debt is also caused by me. Haven't been able to buy the house yet. I work here, make money, stay comfortably, very happy. Every month I have 10 million to spend, and when I have enough I send it home. Cough. Why are you coughing, Dad? Why don't you call by video? I haven't seen my dad lately. Well, I just had to smoke a few cigarettes. The video has weak signal, freezes all the time. Okay, just a few words. Dad, stop smoking. Cough every time. Yeah, I know. No. I called back around Tet. Then I will send the money before Tet. As soon as Uncle Tone had the power cut off, he started coughing. He stood outside the convenience store and kept coughing. I finished paying and came out. Mr. Sato must have finished eating. He delivered the goods and then went to eat in a restaurant. Every 2 weeks he would take us with him to the city to buy necessities. But the truck can only carry 3 people. So our workers took turns buying personal items. It takes about 3 or 4 months to be able to buy supplies. We could go on our own, but we didn't know Japanese or the roads, so we were very scared. From where I cycle to the city, it takes nearly 3 hours. Even if I ride my bike to the street, I can't buy many things. Besides buying supplies, we don't know what to do here. Anything spent that is not necessary is wasteful. I have been living illegally for 4 years and have never gone anywhere. When I was in Vietnam, I was a worker. I come from a poor family, my parents have many children. I'm the eldest brother, so it's right that I have to take care of my family. In Vietnam, working as a worker earns only that much, not enough to take care of my parents, let alone take care of my younger siblings. At that time, many people exported labor. Well, it's just selling labor power. At first, I followed the legal labor export status. When I first arrived, I was very excited, thinking that I would do my best and work really hard to have enough money to pay for the whole family's life in Vietnam. It's true that I make a lot of money, so I'm greedy. 1 month up to 30 million workers' salary. Then, minus the debt repayments to the company, there is still a lot left over. Sent home, everyone was happy. There are still many promising opportunities. After the contract expires, after 3 years of working as a trainee, you will have many more opportunities to apply for labor export. Life will be easier and more comfortable. Listening to them, at that time, workers who are stable and know their reputation will have more opportunities. But at that time I didn't understand it very well. Coming here during my 2nd year, I worked part-time. Who would have thought that was against the law? Workers can work part-time, but they also have to work for the factory they have signed a contract with. I didn't know that. Worried about darkening my eyes and nose, I didn't have time to improve my Japanese. But I understand what they mean, that I am no longer eligible to return to Japan to work after the contract ends. No matter how much I bowed my head and asked, I couldn't get it. That's why I took the risk. Hiding in Japan to work as an illegal laborer. My family cannot lose the money my workers send home. My parents are old and often sick, and we are one or the other. In the past, if I didn't have the conditions, I couldn't go to school, but if I could take care of it, how could I let them go to work as low-skilled workers? For those who work, they only care for themselves and cannot afford to buy a house. So I took a risk, stayed underground and let the family settle down in a few years and then have some money saved up. Just want a different life. The employee ran after us to the door. Makes me so scared. So he gave me some things. It turns out he is also Vietnamese. He gave us a bag of expired items in the store. I'm so happy. Once in a while there are kind people like that. There's also a bag of candy. He smiled and said, "Anyway, it's tonight. That Halloween, no one will buy it anymore. Then leave the leftovers. You guys just take it. I often work here, sometimes I have a chance to stop by." He didn't ask much. I'm also afraid to speak. So he heard Uncle Tone's phone call and then understood and gave us our things. But when he looked at us just now, he was really scared. We probably looked like escaped criminals or drug addicts. He also asked about, "Why did you say you had 10 million? Now, working as a worker here costs 30 million at worst." We had to laugh it off. If you work illegally, you have to suffer like that. Many places pay even lower. Even when they were shortchanged and bullied, every owner told them to deduct the expenses for accommodation, electricity and water. Everyone knows we can't tell them what we're doing under the table, so we just keep doing it. It's not okay for everyone to stay like that. Besides, life is like that. Aren't you guys scared? He said. "Oh, a kid like you is trying to teach me. You're good, work in a good place. So for a while you were good at communicating. Anyway, there is a future. I've been here for more than 20 years, so what are you afraid of?" Uncle Tone said angrily. "No. I mean, sadness and fear of loneliness. That's what I'm so afraid of. Just go to work and then come back to sleep. Don't talk to anyone. I don't dare go anywhere. Just work to make money. There is a future. The future is just work. There is number 1 day off. Many days I couldn't sleep." He said sadly. Uncle just said nothing more. This guy probably hasn't adapted yet. Many people were very excited before coming here, then were disappointed and disillusioned. Afraid he would get in trouble because the cashier kept looking, I quickly left. The truck took us across the lake. Irabaki province is considered a living area in Vietnam. Where we live is not in the neighborhood. Not even in an industrial park. The place where we live and work is in a deserted place. The car went quickly through the corners and then turned straight onto the deserted road. At this point, there is no longer a bus stop. The nearest village only has a few houses. They worked as farmers and did not pay attention to the wilderness hidden behind this lake. There is another area for the rich nearby, which is a golf course and luxury motel. Must take another route to get there. Mr. Sato drove the car and played the music very loudly, singing along to the idol songs he liked. He hardly spoke to us at all. The car stopped at a corner of the street. Then the whole group will walk a distance to get to their place of residence. This Hinuma Lake is beautiful but looks so sad. At sunset, the lake's surface is purple. The climate is cool. I carried a bunch of things to go. We have a few carts that look like supermarket carts. I loaded everything and left. Uncle Tone coughed so hard that he even sat down to cough. We've arrived. We're in an abandoned village. A desolate place. There is a factory here. From the looks of it, it looks very old. Probably around the time of World War II. Back then there was a very smart worker here. He was Chinese and was very familiar with history, or if there was anything he could look at, he kept saying, "Star to star." But he gone. He's a fugitive, just came here to stay temporarily, something like that. Not only was he chased by the government, but he was also chased by the Yakuza, the Japanese mafia. They caught him, right here. Yakuza are very terrible people. His body was scattered everywhere. I heard that the owner of this place informed the Yakuza gang. The owner is also Sato, this Sato's brother. They found a lot of goods for us. We often weld T-bars, U-bars, pipes, stainless steel. All kinds of mechanical processing. Even molding plastic into tubes. Sometimes when I don't have work, I still punch holes and fold cardboard boxes. The biggest fear is not having a job. But when it comes to folding boxes or making chopsticks, we always take on extra jobs to earn more money. No problem. Then slowly it will get better. I went to get water and put it in the basin to wash clothes. There is an old water pump that still works normally. The living conditions in this abandoned village seem to be quite good. At least it's better than the place with one tatami mat that I stayed at to work undercover last time. Especially the bathroom. Ancient-style bathroom. After all, this is a village. The house used to be a fully furnished house. The Japanese bathroom has 2 rooms, one outside room to sit in to wash and scrub first, then one inside room with a wooden bathtub. Used for soaking. I don't like this, because after we all took turns soaking in the water was dirty and we died. But sometimes if the order comes first or second, I immediately go in and soak. Mr. Tan drank a bottle of cough syrup and was still coughing. He also had a fever. Working here often causes respiratory illnesses. I'm probably afraid he has a sore throat or some kind of infection. The medicine is just cough medicine for colds. Here, the pharmacy sells prescription drugs, but even if you want to buy antibiotics, you can't buy them. Without papers or insurance, there can be no treatment or medicine. Uncle Tone was sick and coughed all the time but tried to work. Because he's been coughing so much lately, his productivity has decreased. Mr. Sato told him to deduct his salary, so he rushed to make up for it. But it's dark, I can't see anything. There are several generators here that run on gasoline. Mr. Sato showed the steps during working hours. They also have phone calls from other places. But if you use it too much, it will probably be discovered, so it's very limited. In the evening, it will stop unless there is a large order. He forced him to bring the machinery and equipment into the closet, and then he used a chain to lock it. But we don't have to live in all of the abandoned houses. Many are rotten. Leave the trash alone. I went to trash the products and saw a big pile of trash. Mr. Sato left his trash here again. It's all posters with idle single CDs or something. He loved it so much, he even bought a lot of idol groups' products to support them and voted for them to make them famous. Bought without any reason, bought thousands of CDs. Then if he threw them away or any of his idols left to get married, he would get angry and throw away all the products he had ever bought, then threaten to kill them. It is said that this is the lifestyle of some working people in Japan. And Mr. Sato spends money on prostitution. Here there are streets where they allow those forms. The bathhouses often have many call girl services. Mr. Tan once went and said it was very refreshing, full of beautiful young girls like actors and singers, but they charged very expensive. 1 hour was equal to 1 month of my salary. Besides, it's just a service with no real sex, just a massage service for men to relieve stress. If you want real sex, you have to pay a lot of money for that undercover service. Many female students who are hungry for money do this underground service to earn a lot of money at one time. Mr. Tan also smiled and said, there are many female workers who work illegally, just like us, but they choose to take it easy and earn more. Every time I hear that, my hands tighten. I remember the silhouette of a girl passing here with me. Then she disappeared. Completely disappeared, in another world like that. Mr. Tan asked me to come over and help. It turned out that he was helping Mr. Sato process some AV movies. It's a Japanese sex movie. So he just goes home and downloads it using torrent. He gesticulated and said something. So Tan asked me to listen, but he didn't understand. Oh. It seems like he wants to re-edit his movies to the uncensored type. In Japan, this type of film is required by law to be covered with mosaic. Mr. Sato heard somewhere that he could remove the cover and upload it to sell online, so he asked us to help. He took out a few 1,000 yen bills. This is better than the cost of assembling my boxes. But there must be a place with Wi-Fi, then try Google to see what software to use. Tan urged me to say softly. Never mind, just promise and tell us to tinker all night, then he gave us that money. Remember last time, we told you to download it, copy it to DVD to make a movie, then sell it for money. Just don't do it right away. If you give us money, we can buy an old DVD, delete it, and copy it to it. Because it was difficult to sell, Sato stopped calling and still had money. Once you find the source, you won't have to worry. One DVD sold cheaply for 200 yen. Earn freely. I'm very happy to hear that. You should tell Sato so we can take care of it. Actually, there are a lot of DVDs. Little Mr. Sato threw a bunch of CDs. He was reassured and drove home. Mr. Tan and I quickly counted the money. There are 6,000 yen. Not bad. Ratch. Again. Every day, 2 people wait for their owner to leave and rummage through their belongings. They search the landfill or something here. The same amount of stuff the Sato brothers used can still be used. The others worry about bathing and sleeping. Common time is to eat while playing cards or watching movies. I have a very popular battery-operated DVD player. Sammy eagerly put the movie in to watch. Just some old movies, watch them over and over again to relieve sadness. Besides, what should I watch to avoid being sad or lonely? I only brought a few DVDs and watched them over and over again until the picture faded. The Vietnamese movies I watched damaged the DVD, the disc was scratched. They like watching American movies very much. I just bought this Friday the 13th movie and brought it with me. I didn't expect to save everyone here now. Today there are some foods from the store. So we all had this party. Mr. Sato gave permission so Mr. Tan used his laptop. But he's putting the disc in to erase and then copy the AV movie in. I was watching an American murder movie with the whole group when he patted my shoulder and pointed to my laptop and said, "Hey, this old CD is a game. Can I delete it and use it like a DVD?" "Oh yeah. Not very good." I looked again. "Wow, that's impressive. It's a horror game. Where did this game CD come from? In Mr. Sato's pile of CDs or the ones we bought last time?" Loading is very fast. It even opens automatically after installation is complete. Mr. Tan just left. While I just clicked on its drive, it had already loaded. There's even the character Jason. Coincidence, eh? Try it. Seems to be an offline game. Mr. Takuya ran back and forth, laughing loudly, holding the eye candy and saying, "Halloween. Happy Halloween. There are so many monsters." Takuya, also known as Tat-chan, is a guy who works here like us. He's actually Japanese, but he's crazy, so he does this job. I patted its head. He was very excited and called out, "Ni-chan. Ni-chan." This guy was probably abandoned by his family, his mind is like a child. I often start a conversation with him to learn Japanese from him. Yeah. It's Halloween. I clicked on Jason. The word Jason is selected appears on the screen. Mr. Tan sat down and coughed, then turned pale and said, "Oh my God. Why did you choose Jason? That's a deranged psychopath." I smiled and let go of the mouse and said, "Let's try to play a little for some atmosphere. I've watched this movie a lot. How about playing the game? But it's so sad, I watch it again and again. Plus, play some games for the Halloween atmosphere. It's nothing. Psychotic killers are in America. What to worry about?" Mr. Tan looked serious as he pointed to the ground and said, "You don't know. Jason is here. Right here in this village. Do you know why this village has been abandoned for so many years that even the indigenous people do not come here? Actually, this village is very famous. Japanese people call this village Jasonmura. That is, Jason Village. I gasped loudly. What the hell? What about this place? I saw Mr. Tan looking serious and still looking around. He's a bit weak-minded. This is where I've been staying all year. What happened to him? Just play. How can this be Jason Village or something? I said. Are not. I heard that from a girl in Soapland and two people in a bar. At that time, I went drinking with Duong, the guy who died. I vaguely heard him speak to me in English. He said the place we were staying was Jason Village. In urban legend, there was a person who suddenly killed many people in the village and then committed suicide. Almost killed the whole village, he said. Oh my God, so this village is full of ghosts. So it's a ghost story. No wonder you don't dare go alone. I said. Yeah, that's it. The ghosts of those who died unjustly don't say anything. But there is a rumor in the area that sometimes curious people come here, they take videos, and when they return to watch, they see a glimpse of a person wearing a mask. Mr. Ton said. That doesn't sound trustworthy at all. Why would a murderer wear a Jason mask? I said. Mr. Ton looked at me and said. I heard he was infected with the film. Mr. Duong also said it was not trustworthy, he had read this article in China. Also, the story of the murderer killing the whole village happened in Sujisawa village in Okayama prefecture. It happened a long time ago. For some reason, some abandoned villages are rumored to be the murderer's villages. At first he didn't believe anything was happening. But the Soapland girl said many people said they saw a guy wearing a Jason mask here and chasing them. Probably a movie addict. Some lonely guy only makes friends with movies and then one day he turns into a movie murderer. Mr. Ton seemed to want to scare me. I laughed. Look at the screen. It shows the text, enter the game, and there are still words. Start. Jason is here. It's starting. Jason is here. It seems like something appears on the screen. Oh. There's Killer Jason in a mask standing there. So cool. The graphics are really clear. This is like a movie, not a 3D game. I was startled and before I could watch, I heard screaming and arguing behind me. Bang. Bang. Ah. They quarrel. Mr. Ton and I quickly ran out. Uncle Tone was grabbed by Sammy's neck and screamed. Ton and I stopped Sammy. This guy is normally very gentle, why? He yelled something, his eyes were full of tears and he was viciously attacking, he even ran away holding up a knife and yelling something in Philippine that we couldn't understand. Lin, also from the Philippines, grabbed a crowbar at us and shouted, "Who stole Sammy's lottery ticket?" Answer here. It said that lottery ticket was a winning number. Huh. We were all shocked. Winning lottery ticket? Uncle Tone asked with bright eyes, "Oh my God, that lottery ticket won." Really? Making Sammy scream and wave his knife, he even cut the house pillar a few times. I pulled Uncle Tone back. Mr. Ton said, "We don't have any." How do I know you bought lottery tickets? So they hated me and Uncle Tone. I raised my hand and said, "I don't have it either. I don't know what the lottery ticket won. Try looking around, maybe you'll lose it." It wasn't just Sammy, they were all looking together. Uncle Tone even secretly ran outside the factory to look for him. The whole place was flooded all night. My dog's nest was completely flooded by them. Sammy miserably dug through the rubble, crying and laughing, saying, "I'm about to be rich. Just found the lottery ticket. Great, I'm about to be rich. Will return home, become a boss. Feel free to eat and buy what you like. Escape this life." He also held a knife and yelled at us and the people who were looking to help him. This way it won't let anyone find it. Everyone knows that if you find it, you take it and don't give it back. Ah. He forced us into the factory and used Mr. Sato's chain and lock to lock the door. Is it necessary to do so much? A group of 8 people were locked in here. I quickly turned on the high power light. The 2 Koreans whispered something to each other, then they climbed up and exited through the high window. Maybe they want to take over that lottery ticket. I heard Uncle Tone and Ton discussing. Hey, was that lottery ticket a big win? That's just Sammy. Remember to look where you put the number. Then where did I lose it? I remember, maybe when he changed clothes to take a bath. That's right. He often throws things around. But once you get it, how can you accept it? If you have money, you can do it. Just give it to me. I know a few Japanese people. Huh. Don't tell them to count. I resisted them and said. Anyway, it was a lottery ticket that Sammy bought. It won't take it. What are you two planning to do? The two looked at each other, then Mr. Ton smiled and said. Nothing. We intend to. Ah. Ugh. I felt a strong blow on the back of my head. A sharp pain arose. I held my neck and turned back to see Uncle Tone holding a wrench and hitting me on the back of my neck. Ah. I fell to my knees. Before passing out, he saw Tachan crying and holding some candy. Both of them cut the chain and went out. The sound of metal clanging, and then I fainted. I woke up. It hurts. Oh my. The back of my neck hurts so much. Huh. I found myself right outside and near the lake. I woke up in a panic. I looked at my white gloves while working and saw them covered in dirt and blood. The sound of crying was so loud. Huh. I looked back and saw Tachan. He was sitting on his knees with a flashlight next to him, crying. Ni-chan. Ni-chan is awake. Luckily. Phew. So it pulled me out here. There is no teacher. He cried and hugged me. I patted its back. But my body is wet. What is this? Like blood. So is his person. I thought I was injured, but it looked like blood was splashed somewhere. Huh. What happened just now? Hey, Tat-chan. What happened just now? What is this amount of blood? Where are they? I asked, holding his shoulder. It bewilderedly pointed inside and said. It's Jason. Jason from Ni-chan's movie brought. Jason. It was Halloween, so Jason wore a mask to enter Jason and destroyed and massacred. I feel confused. This guy is crazy. It's true that I brought a DVD that often shows it. Jason is very good, Ni-chan. Like Kamen Rider. To destroy dirty people, purify the world. Jason is here. He said excitedly. I took the lamp and went into the village to let him say crazy things according to the child's temperament and the superhero movies he watched. He often thinks that Jason is like a Japanese superhero movie, and every night he runs to ask me to play the movie Jason for him. I'm worried that maybe because of a dispute over the lottery ticket, they dare kill someone. In this miserable life and this lonely life with no future, that lottery ticket is a way out. Ah. Ah. It must have been the scream of one of those two Korean workers. Still shouting in the other direction. What happened? I rushed into the workshop. I stepped on the pile of steel and made a loud noise. Damn it. I stepped on a pile of plastic pellets. The kind of plastic pellets that haven't turned into plastic items yet. I fell flat on my face. Wow. Wow. Who's the one who messed this place up? I held a flashlight and shined everywhere. Seeing the chaos, a whole bunch of finished products and paper boxes were thrown around and stepped on. This bunch. How much effort. I ran to look and tripped over something. Tripping on someone's foot. Those black striped pants are Sammy's. I shined my flashlight and saw a terrible scene. Only one leg. The thigh part is full of blood. I threw the lamp back and screamed loudly. The lamp rolled away and then it rolled around. I was even more frightened because I saw things on the ground. It's similar. It's like the time the Yakuza forced me to dig a hole and they weren't satisfied and forced me to saw Duong's body. I vomited. The other person was a Korean. I recognized him by his intact head. It opened its eyes and rolled back. His body was inserted into the mold we used to cast the seat. He now seems to be twisted into a chair. Having said that, only the upside-down head remained intact while his body. His arms and legs were severed. The body was crushed under that mold. It was as if something wanted to put him in the chair, and if it didn't fit, it got angry and used a saw and hammer to smash it. Same with Sammy. Tatchan was clinging to the door, closing his eyes and crying for me to wake up. Then he crawled up and ran towards it. I saw Sammy's body. His mouth was stuffed with plastic pellets completely in a box. So terrible. Who? I grabbed Tatchan and said, "Tatchan, who caused it? What's going on?" It said, "Jason, that's Jason." It turned its head to look at where we slept. Could it be? See, there's a light there. Could it be that someone killed Sammy and then the others to take the lottery ticket? Tatchan doesn't have much intelligence. Jason must be what he thinks of as a murderer. I pulled it along. Fumbled back to the house. I don't want to think who the culprit is anymore. I hope it's not Ton and Uncle Tone. Could it be that they kill people for money? That's right, in a life with no escape and no hope, people can easily lose their minds. I suddenly felt scared but went in to take a look. Seeing that, Tatchan clapped his hands and was about to shout. I quickly covered its mouth. I groped my way in. The door was thrown open. There must have been a bucket of bodies. I went in and saw a long blood stain on the floor stretching from the outside to the inside. Furniture seemed to be broken, walls, blankets and clothes were covered in slash marks. One person. Looks like a Daruma. Tumbler. The person was tied up. Like Mr. Duong when they were brutally tortured. That person is a black guy. He was tied up. I recognized it by the clothes. It belonged to a Korean, but that person got a cold burn. In the corner of the room is liquid nitrogen that we use in the welding and cutting process to make the welds shiny. No. It's terrible. His whole body was blistered. He must have kept shouting. I saw blood stains with scribbled writing on the wall. He is also not fluent in English, his words are broken. But read out as Jason. Crazy. Kill. Everyone run. Ja.'s son is here. Why does he also call the killer Jason? I come back. In front of me was a Jason mask looming over me. I pushed it out. It's Tatchan who used cardboard and punched holes to make a mask. Phew. This guy is so scary. Die. I accidentally shouted. There was a sound outside like running. So there's only Ton and Uncle Tone left. It's really them. Why did they go to this extent? Killing people, but also, I don't dare look at those bodies. Maybe they modeled it after the horror movie Jason. That's right, some people speculated that the killer would fold the body or use liquid nitrogen to freeze it and then chop it up. But look. These are people. The situation is the same, working as a laborer. Just for the lottery ticket. My body is full of color. Not paying attention, he sat down in a pool of blood. I went to the bathroom to wash and change clothes. This is so terrible. To wash my face and calm down. The bathroom is lit. The lamp is right outside the outer room. I saw my face covered in blood. Blood flowed and rose down his face and down his neck. Washing in a bucket is not clean. I opened the bathroom door inside and washed my face in the bathtub. Wow, that's a lot of blood. I washed and took out clothes to change. Water. Water in the tub. The light from outside is not bright enough. Water. I plunged my hand into the water tank. Air. There's something in the tub already. I was so scared that I ran out and grabbed the lamp and brought it inside to look at it. The light illuminates the entire bathtub. I saw a person lying on the sink, about to float. I screamed. It's Uncle Tone. Uncle Tone. Why him? Didn't he kill them? So. I quickly ran out. I saw Mr. Ton right outside the house. He held a flashlight and knife and rushed forward. I shouted and grabbed his hand. He looks like a crazy person. You're crazy. Why did you kill them all? Crazy. I shouted. He had a coughing fit. I saw an opportunity, so I punched him. He staggered. I was about to grab the knife when he raised the knife and grazed my face. I reflexively fell back if I hadn't received the blow. My cheek hurt so much. I saw a line of blood on my cheek. Cough. Cough. It was you. You killed them. You kill me. I jumped back, raised my hand to stop him and said, "What are you talking about? Is it you? Are you crazy?" Mr. Ton hugged his head and screamed, then banged his head against the wall and screamed, "I'm dead. Dead again. Why do I keep dying? I see myself alive and running. Seeing dead people. You. Tell me. Who killed me?" He grabbed me by the neck. I pulled away and said, "You are really crazy. What's wrong with you? You killed them all, right? Uncle Tone, Sammy, they. That game. It's that game. Right. I thought of it. Everything started to get strange from the moment that game started." Mr. Ton said. "Don't joke. He is mentally ill." "What game?" "It was you who won the ticket." "But why did Uncle Tone die?" I said loudly. "That's the reward in the game." I understood from the second death. I held the lottery ticket in my hand. Winning means having money. Must win. Mr. Ton said while smiling. I stepped back. Indeed, Ton. He is crazy about money. My hand is almost reaching the knife on the table. You trust me? I don't know. As soon as I reset it, I was about to run. But lottery ticket. I know where it is. I was in the bathroom, so I came back. This time is different. Everyone died so quickly. Maybe he was faster. No. He kills even faster. The first time, I even ran into the street. And he chased. I didn't dare call the police. I hid at my ex-girlfriend Fwong's house. He killed it too. But no one died here. Really. I don't kill anyone. Do you know who it is? Or maybe, a guy from the game. The monster from the game. I think I should break that laptop and CD. Help me. I went to look for a lottery ticket and then you broke the laptop. Mr. Ton said with dark eyes. My hand has reached the knife. He's so deranged that he's talking nonsense. He walked away and said, who else is here? Got the handle. He went in screaming in horror at the dead body in the house. Why does he look so scared? Ni-chan, Tachin's voice behind me. Something seemed to strangle my mind. Could it be? There is another murderer here. Who? Mr. Ton is talking nonsense, but now I'm the only one here. Mr. Ton shouted loudly when he saw the writing on the wall. I can hold the knife. Mr. Ton fell down, then turned around in horror and said, It's you. It's you. You're a murderer. Huh? What the hell are you talking about? Don't tell me I said it was Jason. Like them. I said while walking around trying to reassure him. He no longer had the strength to hold the knife, so he trembled and tried to crawl away from me, saying, It's you. Crazy guy. Mr. Duong once said that you have a mental problem. You even said. They wrote your name on the wall. Killer. Air. I don't really understand. I remember seeing the movie showing the killer Jason holding a knife and stabbing. Then he picked up the axe and chopped at the victim. Maybe it's like the rules in some fake games that follow a design scenario. The character must hold the right weapon to perform the action. Understand that it is a simulation game. Many times the images are not clear or limited, it's just because it's a game. It wasn't until I held the weapon that I remembered what to do. I just realized that Mr. Ton is the player. It turns out that the game counts according to the person who opens the disc and installs the game, but I'm just the person who clicks on which monster. And the writing on the wall isn't Jason. It's just scribbles next to the word Sun. My name is Sun. Names written without accents are like that. Sun. Crazy. Kill. Everyone run. Sun is here. Tachan put on the mask and ran away to see. It hides and then it runs again. I chased it. Because I held the axe. Don't know anymore. But I partly understand the feelings of Jason or some murderer. The end for someone is also a liberation for them. For this miserable and hopeless life. I can get a bonus. No matter what, I always wish for another life. Then, going to clean up the world as this monster wishes is also something many people think about. By the fourth time, I knew what the reward was for this game. It's all good. After the incident, some agencies used money to compensate and help the victims' families. There were a few people in the surrounding area who had met us, and the TV station even came down to do a program. Then many kind people sympathized and contributed. Then the allowance was sent to our home. I feel very secure. So you have to try your best. After all, working hard and living in bondage in this place is a normal thing for me to do. Hurry up, boy, or I'll give you a beating. Is there really a guy hiding a lot of Yakuza money in this village? Sure. But why don't many people come here? People in the area are buzzing. But we have this idiot to lead the way. No one is like us. And where did you find this idiot? So he just stood on the road and walked into the caves where I asked if he wanted to go to Jason Mura. Hey, it's going so fast. Hurry up, it's dark now. No worries, I decided to spend the night there. But the whole lake area is so big, it takes a few days to search. There are a few abandoned tents on the lake. There must be many people who have come here looking. So where are they? I'm afraid there really is a demon named Jason here. I heard that 2 people were driving on the road late at night and hit one person. Then they ran out and took that person to the hospital. Afterwards, the murderous demon Jason arrived. And kill. Haha. Is that a new season of Friday the 13th? There are always people in this area who claim to have seen Jason. It's become an urban legend. What's strange? Maybe the 3 students wore masks and scared the tourists to attract them. Hey, I think I just saw someone. Forget it, Jason's village is there. Wow, it looks so dilapidated. Hey, that idiot is gone. I told you to keep an eye on it. There it is. What an idiot, running and shouting Ni-chan, Ni-chan, I'm back again, there's prey. Hey, come here and see. What is this? When I entered this dark house, I saw a small light flashing. It turned out that the laptop was blinking. Open it. Maybe some information about the amount of money. Good, why are there any laptops here? As for the electricity, it must have been recently forgotten by a tourist. But that incident was 5 years ago. It's open now. That's right, it's not just some game. Click to try it out. So it's a test game. There must be some game maker coming here to get inspiration for a murder game. When I went to Jason's village, I chose Jason. Oh, after selecting it, the screen appears right away. Wait, this scene is here. Then behind us is Jason. Ah. I walked into the school hallway. Along the hallway are classes. It's in session, so the doors are closed. But students look at me a lot. I happened to look in. There were 2 male students who even hit him on the back at his desk and pointed at me. I looked away confused so as not to disturb the class. One side of the hallway is open to the yard. I'm dead. It seems like the students who are practicing running or playing football on the field are all looking at me. Got to class. The teacher is lecturing. I don't know if I should go in or not. I looked at the other rooms. There was a group of students coming down the stairs noisily. I avoided their gaze. This high school is very small, but just like any other high school. Their eyes then whispered, "New student." Changing schools is probably the same. All very bad. Creep. The classroom door suddenly opened. That black American teacher opened the classroom door, looked at me and said, "Oh, there's a new student here. I have heard about you. Have you finished the procedure?" Really, other schools can do the procedure later. However, they kept me at the check-in process, making me come in late and so worried. Just go to class. I grabbed my bag and went to class. My anxiety surged. The whole class is making noise. The teacher shouted sternly, "Order. Take a seat for me now. This is a new student. Let me introduce myself. Michael, Alex, I told you to be quiet. Let me introduce myself. I'm more frantic. They seem to be making more noise." I secretly looked up. Everyone looked at me and laughed. The boys still sat on the table or approached the head table. Oh there, the group of girls in class. Hawk sat around and talked about me and giggled. The teacher shouted again, "Come on. I must quickly introduce myself. I've been confused many times. I introduced myself with a few words as if I wanted to help. Noises rang out from the boys. Oh my God! There's an Asian girl. It's rare in this state. It looks exactly like being shy and embarrassed. We made that girl worry. Look. Haha. Is that all? Generally only know the name. No more introductions. Then we will slowly find out. It looks so cute. Our school has very few Asian students. Oh my God, this girl is like the girl in the movie Kill Bill. And these days Korean music is really good, those colorful girl groups. They all look very cute. Not like the girls here. The girls glared at the gay boys. The other girls, including a blonde girl, smiled and crossed her arms mockingly, saying, "It doesn't look stylish. Don't Asians look so cool and fashionable these days like they do in music? This girl is really..." They burst out laughing. The teacher frowned and patted the table and said, "Hey, everyone, be quiet. This new friend transferred from Riverside County High School of Arts in California. A high school specializing in talented departments. I'm really looking forward to it. To be admitted to gifted schools in California, you must pass an audition and register for aptitude tests. According to my profile, I participated in musicals at school. Unfortunately, in our school and in this county and state, there are no famous gifted schools and cannot afford musicals like that. And my academic achievements are very impressive. It's true that Asian students here never study. Let's be serious." I bowed my head. Noise or laughter in class suddenly stops. I secretly looked up to find a seat. I saw the girls gasping and their faces turning pale. The boys rolled their eyes. Then the boys started talking. Oh my God. God. From a gifted arts school in California. Isn't that? What's that? You're so homely. That's Hollywood. In central areas or big cities, districts all have different types of schools for the gifted. Art schools specialize in the performing arts of theater and film. And Riverside County is located right next to Los Angeles County. Many actors and singers come from such specialized schools. Or in that state there are many schools and they send their children for training early. And become stars. Man, we only have one band here, Dead Dogs, and they usually perform at Lazy Cats and that's it. Isn't it very difficult to get in there? I watched YouTube and many stars confided that when they were young, they sent their singing videos to art schools and waited to be accepted. Now they are all superstars. No wonder she's so cute and charming. I found a seat so I took my seat. I sat near a group of girls, but they looked at me with anger and jealousy. Well, there are some guys who come over even during class time. The teacher knew it was the same so he let it go and lectured. They kept asking me questions, making me feel awkward. Well, I'm sitting here because behind me there's a male friend of Asian descent like me. To make it easier to talk, it seems like he's the type that doesn't care or is the type of invisible person in class. Every class has some weirdo who doesn't like to talk and the other students ignore them. Maybe I should hide like that too. If the same things happened again, it wouldn't be good at all. So you're the most popular girl in school. I hid in the library. The person who said those words was a guy. Well, he's different from other boys. He seemed to be half Asian, tall and thin. Different from guys who seem to play around or guys who are famous and show off in school. He wore a t-shirt with a striped shirt over it. Looks very dignified. He naturally sat down. I moved away to avoid him, then looked away and frowned. Hope he leaves me alone. But he just laughed heartily and put a stack of books on the table and opened his textbook. Ah! I seem to have heard of him. I heard some guys blabbering a lot saying that the school has a mixed Asian guy who is very good at studying. He extended his hand to me and said, "First met. Welcome. His name is David. If you need any help, just find me. I'm in grade 12. 2 grades ahead of me. He plays basketball to stay tall. I focus on studying now so I don't play much. This school is just normal, full of incompetent people. But don't be lazy. If you take the SAT and get an average score like that, even if you study well here, universities will not accept you if you know from here. This guy is very decent. He also gave me books. Then I told my dad about studying and then we talked. The state of New Mexico is full of Mexicans. The police are also all Mexican, dealing with smuggling, human trafficking and criminals very seriously. So the security is very bad. You should be careful. Which street is your house on?" I said timidly, "On Elm Street." He laughed so hard he said, "No wonder girls in school tease me. Sally is the captain of the cheerleading team. At any school, the girls on the cheerleading team are the hottest girls in the school. They must have said something to me. Don't worry. In America, street names are confusing, Orange Street, Willow Street, all the time. There's no such thing as Elm Street anywhere. But that road is very deserted. That's the way it is in this state. It's probably different from the crowded and bustling state of Cali. You must feel very sad." I shook my head and said, "No. This school is very good. Quieter. There are also fewer people." He looked at me and said, "Maybe you got into trouble at your old school. Don't you have a boyfriend?" "That's right. From art school, you probably have a lot of friends." "There must be a lot of friends, but they must all participate together like High School Musical. I play basketball, so I watched all those movies. And the musicals there must be very flashy. I saw it online, that school has a very large stage." I said with a sad face, "We used to be friends. Women, they were all girls full of dreams. There are many performances in the school and teachers even post professional casting calls, encouraging students to participate. Or the times when guests come to school. Everyone reserves such places for each other. Friends are the same. What musical or drama? They always give me bad roles. Bad roles." I don't know why I told him so many things. I was startled. Seeing him look at me thoughtfully, he seemed sympathetic. He looked at me and made me feel shy, so I turned away. He nodded, then closed the book and said, "I've decided. I really want you to be my girlfriend now. To be honest, it was Alex from my class who asked me to ask about you. Because they're on the basketball team. But now I have decided." "Huh?" I looked up to see him waving at the boys hiding in the corner of the library. "Huh?" I was so angry that I grabbed all my books and left. He ran after me and blocked my way and said, "You don't have a choice. I need to get a boyfriend soon. Otherwise, the boys at school will bother you all the time. They will also show many tricks. The driver blocking the road to pick me up to go out or stalking me all the time is nothing. As for the girls, they won't leave me alone. No one likes a popular girl with a bunch of boys who make noise all the time. Him. My heart beat strongly. I thought about the guy sitting behind me. But David said, I'm waiting for you. When you can't stand it, find me. Here is your phone number. At this school there is a black guy named Bob. It's pretty scary, playing for the rugby team. You know, at every school the girls aren't crazy about the guys on the football team. It wasn't just Sally or Phoebe at that time. He left. I held a piece of paper with his phone number. A week after having a boyfriend, David, the troubles were definitely less. He's good and not flashy in any way. Hyatt drove me home. He also has many friends. It's like being in a large group and no one will dare to bother you. In the group there are two other girls, Lisa and Paige. She is also the girlfriend of two other people in the group. Lisa was friendly but Paige was disdainful towards me. One thing is that they often gather at my house. Because my parents are always away from home. Lisa was in the kitchen looking out the window and said, God, most of the houses in this area are abandoned. I pointed to the next house and said, no, there is an old woman in the house opposite. There's someone next door. People here just don't like to leave the house. I think every house has that person. It's just that the households here are very small. A house only has one or two people, so it looks so quiet. Wow. She often looks here. And the house next door to you argues with each other all the time. It is said that this area of Elm Street has had many murders. But no one cares. So here. I drove past and saw the police blocking off a house and thought, oh, there's another incident. That's all. Hey, why do you keep taking the camera to her? Paige said, then looked back and yelled at Nick. He kept pointing the camera at me. Nick said, it's Final Girl. You're like the female lead in horror movies. And it came at just the right time. A girl who just transferred school. And then it's right on Elm Street. The place has the same name as the street in the movie A Nightmare on Elm Street. Who knows? Just some outdated B-grade horror movies. In 3 movies there were killers or monsters and then they were all killed one by one and only one remained. But if we say that, will we die? Just let me have someone to live. Paige glanced at me. I sighed and prepared drinks for you guys. Lisa put the popcorn in the microwave to expand it. They come to my house just to watch movies. In this town there is no place for students to gather. Or the venues look terrible and old. It's full of truck drivers and those places are not safe. Hear the sound of flooding. Charles is filling up some boxes of my stuff that just arrived. David hit his shoulder and said, hey, what are you doing? Let's take a look. So envious. I also want to have parents who work for a large electronics company and travel back and forth between the US and Asia on business all day. That's good. In the future that electronics company will open a factory here. Maybe my alcoholic father could work as a worker in that factory. Look at this terrible TV and sound system. And this one is all kinds of game boxes with a shelf attached to the wall with a light, Charles said. Listen to his heavy sound. Feeling embarrassed, I didn't say anything and just prepared snacks. Come on, Nick said. Let's watch a movie. We all came over to help our new friend arrange her house and get used to her new life here, right? Anyway, it's very boring here. Don't spoil the fun. Tomorrow is Halloween. But the school party was cancelled. As for the party at Mark's house, you shouldn't go, because of David burning his hand on the most popular girl in school. If they go there, they will definitely find it. Everyone seemed nostalgic and I felt guilty. Am I thinking too much, but every word they say seems to sting me. But it's better than not having you. Crazy. The sound of a lawn mower in the garden. Just in time. I quickly picked up the paycheck for half a month's salary and then took out 2 glasses of freshly mixed fruit cocktail to give to the 2 gardeners. It's very hot at noon. They wear hats and stay outside in the garden cutting trees. Just moved in 1 month, so the garden is very messy. Before leaving, my parents told them to do a lot of work, cut down all the trees in the back, and then replant the trees. In this town it is difficult to find a professional gardening team. So just look for a normal gardening service with these 2 people. They only have 1 truck and go around cutting grass. They said let them do it slowly. 2 days a week they come to my house and work the whole time. But they really appreciate this job because in town they rarely receive such good and regular work. Mr. Fred, wearing a hat, thanked me profusely. I go in. Some friends are watching a movie. David hugged my waist and said, "His name is Fred. You have to be careful. Watch out when Freddy appears." According to the plot, Freddy is a gardener. We helped you install this TV. Wow. The TV in the living room is very loud. Last time I watched a movie in my room. Also ask them to help fill the furniture in the house. Curved glass. Who rings the doorbell? Paige was opening my box and said, "It's me. I ordered pizza. There's a pretty good pizza place." Oh my God. These are crazy expensive cosmetics. I quickly ran out to get help. As soon as I opened the door, I saw it was him. The guy sitting at the table behind me. Does he have a part-time job delivering pizza? He was wearing a baseball cap and a striped pizza shirt. David walked over and hugged my waist, smiling and saying, "Let me pay." Still hot. He looked at David and said, "It's still hot. It's only been 15 minutes. 1 supreme pizza and 1 spicy chicken wing cost $25. I suddenly felt very shy with him. Is it because he often looks at me and doesn't say anything? David ran into the house to get his wallet, so it was just me and him. His name is Alan. When I turned down to introduce myself, he just glanced at me and said his name curtly. That's all. But Alan is very good. He left me a shirt on my desk when Sally and the others were playing tricks and cutting up my shirt. Then especially the other day when the music teacher Ms. Tracy gave me a hard time, she was kind of racist. She forced me to sing so the whole school would laugh at me. It was Alan who caused the power outage. He was arrested with a friend. Maybe I should thank him. Do you want to come in and play? Today we're here to watch a movie. I started. Are not. I still have work. Alan said. Oh yeah. But. I smiled and said, let's wait for another time. Or is. You should be careful with David. Alan suddenly said. Huh. I'm a bit surprised. He refused to talk to me. So cool. His voice is so good. I asked further, is something wrong? Here, a lot of things happened. David really liked meeting new girls and they disappeared. Alan said. His voice trembled. Disappear? I asked, do you know them? Those girls disappeared. No. That happened 2 years ago. He is in grade 10 and 11. This year, in school many people are talking about how David will make me disappear this year. Alan's voice was very serious. Rumble. Ah. Rumble. Bang! A series of loud noises and screams. Alan grabbed me and pulled me down, holding my head, screaming, "Watch out." My whole body felt like it was being electrocuted. It feels like this person really cares about me. Really care. Maybe should. Alan looked inside, grabbed my hand and pulled me out and said, "Get out of here, go sit in your car, the keys are in the ignition. If something happens, drive. I'll go in and see what's going on." It couldn't have been Paige's joking voice ordering pizza on the phone. No. I quickly ran after Alan. The noise is too loud. There was purring and laughter too. Alan ran in so quickly that I couldn't pull him in time. It only took a moment to reach the living room and they were all standing in shock. Paige held her ears and screamed for real. And Lisa said, "Quickly turn this damn thing off." Nick threw down the game controller and ran in to help Charles turn off the speaker. The ring sound echoed throughout the house. Echoed upstairs. Both gardeners ran to the back door to look. "We just tested the game disc. We set up the shelf for your DVDs and see if there are any movies." There was an old game disc that didn't have any cover art, just the ink mark, Halloween Nightmare, so we opened it up to try. Then this annoying sound. "Hey, enough joking. Turn it off now. It's too harsh." David reminded everyone. "But we can't turn that sound off anymore." Lisa looked everywhere in fear and said, "Hey, do you think that sound doesn't sound like it's coming from the speaker but from everywhere? The image on the screen just now seemed so similar to our scene. Even Paige's scream. It seemed to come from the speakers and then the sound of footsteps. Of these two people running, the sound of the lawn mower, the sound of me dropping the popcorn bowl because I was startled." Paige pointed at the screen in panic and said, "Just now. I clearly saw Freddy's face." After Nick laughed and clicked to select Freddy. Then the other monster characters disappeared and he was alone and he stood laughing, then the image appeared as if we were standing. Please say this is a joke. So Nick chose. Who opened this game? I asked all of us. But no one answered, so Charles picked up the game console, clicked like crazy, then burst out laughing, holding his head and saying, "Oh my God. This is great. It's better than kidnapping and torture." Huh. David grabbed Charles's mouth and said, No, it's just Mark's game, just to scare the girls. I think. It's nothing. Don't be afraid. Hey, don't scare her, everyone clean up quickly. Sure. Where is this wonderful game disc? This bunch. Are they excited? I looked over and saw Alan rush forward to take out the plate and say, "This plate must be destroyed. The sound is real." They attack Alan. David grabbed Alan's collar and slammed his whole body into the sofa. Charles grabbed the fork. I can get David out. He roughly threw $25 at Alan and then raised his voice, "Get out of here. Don't interfere in our business. Hey, he's a classmate and often helps me." I helped Alan stand up and said. Nick walked over and smiled and said, "Oh, you are truly a final girl. I told you already." The other day, as soon as she went up, the power went out. The whole school was buzzing about it. Charles put the fork back in. Paige forgot to be afraid and screamed and called many friends, excitedly saying, "You guys don't know what just happened. Come here quickly." "I'll go around the house and take a look," Alan said. "To make sure there's no one. It feels like a monster is breathing." Lisa was scared and she was shaking. I approached her to reassure her and asked what happened. She looked at me angrily and said, "Isn't that a game disc in your house?" I shook my head and said, "Didn't you guys bring plates like last time?" I don't have any game discs or consoles at home. My dad plans to order satellite TV and Netflix. I haven't watched a DVD in a long time. This DVD shelf is actually not for the living room. You guys are about to go to the wrong place. Should have been in the office upstairs. Let him put some CDs of his documents or software. They turned pale. Charles said, "We brought the game console to play. So this game CD came here by itself. Or, the ghost of Freddy on Elm Street, he likes to follow the new girl. Choose the female lead and then kill her." "There's a bell," startled Lisa. So many people came. There's Mark and Lucas too. There was even the humble gym instructor who once forced me into the storage room alone with him. I heard the others laughing, so I knew he was going to pull a trick, so I ran away. Alan told me to go into the room quickly. This group was very dangerous. They came in and glanced at me. Different than I thought. I saw David calling them very friendly, even saying, "Come here and see this." "Don't worry. I will find a way to destroy that DVD," Alan reassured me. I feel very secure. For the first time, someone cared about whether I was scared or not, or realized how nervous I was. There was a young boy with his head bowed and rushed in, carrying a backpack and a large cross with a statue of Jesus lying down, calling out, "Alan. Alan, I'm here to save you." He didn't just steal it from that church, did he? It seems like the whole school is buzzing. Well, or the whole town. They really seem to like this. Everyone stood together watching the TV screen. Now it is dark and has words that everyone knows. "Come to Freddy. 1, 2, Freddy's coming for you. 3, 4, better lock your door. 5, 6, grab your crucifix. 7, 8, gonna stay up late. 9, 10, never sleep again." It looks so silly. This is like a cheap B-movie and no one will believe us and will say we lied. That's what I'm worried about. Oh my God. It's real. All shouted together. Paige even said to her girlfriends, "See, I told you it was true." Huh. They believe. Do they really all believe it? I was also very surprised. I breathed a sigh of relief. Did you just breathe a sigh of relief? Alan asked me. So he's still looking at me. I said, a lot of people have arrived. How lucky. Then you won't be afraid anymore, Lisa. Lisa also breathed a sigh of relief and went to chat with her friends. Alan's friend looked at me slowly and said, Here comes the most popular girl in school that you've been paying attention to. Looks even worse than copycats like Ariana Grande. They're from Hollywood, the actors and singers look so fake and fake. Always want to be the center of attention. She's also David's girlfriend. After all, this school is full of gangsters. It's Phoebe. They came in a convertible and dressed sexy, but David smiled and said. She glanced at me with a triumphant look. She pressed her chest against his hand and said, Why don't you call me? I am so worried about you. You must be bored with her. Let Mark or Lucas take care of it. Already. David waved Phoebe's hand away. It's so worth it. I walked away and went into the room. Alan followed me with his talkative friend. He looked at family photos and then my childhood photos. I quickly put it away. He said, "Ah yes. Don't be sad. Hey, stop it, don't touch her things." I just drank water and didn't touch anything. I came to stop you from doing that foolish thing. Leave her alone. Look. They're all pictures of her practicing dancing or singing. She's so rich. It's true that there are many things that girls here dream about. Alan held a stack of DVDs of musicals and musical movies and said, "Huh. I thought you said you didn't have any DVDs at home." Die. I quickly grabbed it and said, "I forgot. I mean, there are no DVDs of horror movies or games. This is my collection. It's been a while since these musicals came out. But now they're all on Netflix. I was going to throw it away someday and forget it." Alan picked up the 2 DVDs and looked at the back and said, "This doesn't look like it's horror. Like Freddy." I quickly grabbed the DVD and said, "The musical movie Sweeney Todd also has a very famous musical. And this one is just a teen romance movie made into a musical, only it's not popular. This Edward character is very good. Oh, and those are also musicals. Dracula or Elizabeth, and especially Phantom of the Opera. Because the cover design is like a horror movie instead of a great musical like West Side Story." Seeing Alan standing there holding the DVD of West Side Story looking at me. The album cover image shows the 2 main characters looking at each other. The friend slapped Alan on the shoulder a few times. "Hey, he's about to do something stupid again." I smiled softly. Alan walked closer to me. My heart was pounding. Boom. Ah. I saw 2 people, Mark and Charles, standing in the hallway looking in. Charles snorted coldly and went down and shouted, "David, your girlfriend." Mark looked at me and snorted. I covered Alan and closed the door. Alan's friend was playing with my Disney princess pictures and said, "Something is going to happen. Don't worry, I'll tell my brother. It's truly a princess room. Too much nail polish." "Huh." He pointed outside and said, "That's my brother. That's why Alan and I can be at peace." God. Not the same at all. Charles and he are brothers. Alan said, "Don't sleep for now. I'll go buy coffee." Will he go? But we just talked. Oh. Forgot. Must talk to Paige or Lisa. What happened just now? Must follow order. Besides, there are a lot of people at my house. This is going to be a long night. The next morning someone died. I dropped all the books in the locker. The whole school was noisy and they looked happier. I stood there dumbfounded. The sound echoed in the noisy hallway. Everyone looked at me and pointed. I do not understand everything. I shook my head and said, "No way. How could anyone die?" Sally stood against the wall, crossed her arms and said, "But Paige is dead. It's all your fault. If it wasn't for you moving here and making that Freddy monster follow you." David ran over and said, "Stop it now. I'm here." I quickly followed David to find out what was going on. "Yesterday when you sent us all away, we went home. Nick said he would take Paige home. She and a group of friends wanted to hang out and watch a Freddy movie, so they stayed at each other's house to watch it together. After a while she fell asleep. In the morning, we all woke up. Seeing Paige lying about, they called for her to wake up, but to no avail. When I pulled the blanket off, I saw that she was dead. I said, "Are you sure it's Freddy? Or maybe she died because someone killed her." "It's Freddy. Hoo hoo hoo. Last night we all slept together, there were 3 people in the room. I slept on the floor and there were 3 people outside the living room sleeping on the sofa. But in the morning, I saw Paige dead. She still had a lot of blood on her body. I sleep right in the room. I'm not exactly sleeping. We stayed up until almost dawn. Sarah and I sat and watched a movie. Paige said to take a nap. Her leg was bent to one side as if she had fallen and broken her leg. We're not going anywhere. Tina cried and cried. The laughter stopped completely. She even rushed at me and said, "Tell me, it's because of you that Paige died." David pushed that girl away. Alan came and said, "It has nothing to do with her. Last night, we were together." His friend raised his hand and said, "Yes, I can testify." "Me too," Charles said. David looked at both of them and let out a growl. Alan just come throw rocks at my window. Then when I came out, he was holding a lot of DVDs of musicals and plays and said, "I've seen them all." At that moment my heart melted. He came to talk to me so I wouldn't sleep. Like West Side Story. Exactly like that. Charles explained to David that his brothers took Alan to rent some stupid DVDs and then drove him to my window to make sure I wasn't asleep. Have loudspeakers and ask everyone to gather in the gym. I looked over for Lisa and Nick. Faded. Can chat with David. To understand what's going on. There was a group of terrible weirdos who shouted, "We will be like in a Nightmare on Elm Street 3, Dream Warriors. Dream Warriors. I will be Harry Potter. Keep your dreams." The noise stopped completely. Everyone looked at the speaker. I staggered. David looked up at the speaker in surprise. Alan helped me ask, "What's going on? Are you too sleepy?" There should be Freddy's voice coming from the speaker. I tried to calm down. "You're not dreaming, friend." Everyone heard it. "He is here." "So what's going on, Alan?" The friend hurriedly interjected. "I don't know. Looks like Freddy could be someone else. We are thinking in the wrong direction. He is probably a demon in that game," Alan said. Everything is so vague. But with Alan by my side, I don't have to worry anymore. It turns out that even adults like this very much. Nick said, "Who wouldn't? Didn't his girlfriend just die?" We were arranged to sit on rows of chairs in the sports room. Normally this gym is for practicing indoor sports. There are often basketball or volleyball matches. I asked David, last night when I was outside the door. "Who opened that game? Is it Paige? Then, who comes?" "Huh? What's so important about that?" Charles asked me. David looked at me and said, "I mean, what's the order?" I nodded and said, "Yes. Order." David frowned and looked at me. He said, "It seems like it is. That time Paige. She specializes in rummaging through my things. She said those were probably 3 self-recorded DVDs of me and my ex-boyfriend. Those sex clips are good or something like that. So she put it in the machine." He worried about finding his wallet. He stopped her, but she pressed it with the remote. But I can't keep pressing it. Then a loading bar suddenly appeared. Nick said it must be some virus. Charles said it was a game, so they took out the controller and tried it out. Okay, that's right. More important than the order is. So who chooses Freddy? Did anyone choose another monster? I quickly asked him. Yes, said Charles. Huh. Star. Who is that? I asked them quickly. Alan's friend pulled Charles's shirt and hugged Charles's chest and said, I'm scared. Yeah. I'm scared too. How can I destroy that monster? Charles said. Don't you know? Freddy cannot be destroyed. He is the strongest monster. With a lot of power. But that was, in a dream. In the dream he was invincible. Mark sat behind me and jumped up to say. To startle. The girl next to her asked, what about reality? Knew it. Everyone has seen that movie. The teachers were very excited about this and gave instructions like in the movie for the students to be careful. They put crosses everywhere. Is it because of that song from the movie Freddy? They even made a list. He talked a lot, and Alan too. He went into the house at that time. Death. I held Alan's hand and said, did you look at the screen and see that monster? Alan looked at me very sadly and said, yes. I saw him, Freddy. Right before I ran in, we appeared a few seconds before he disappeared. He was there smiling. A disgusting, evil monster like him waits to be chosen, waiting for this hunt. Lisa held her ears and screamed. Maybe, there is a real Freddy. Is he that scary? So much so that anyone who sees it is scared. Maybe we encountered a real killer. Are you scared now, bitch? IQ turned around. Who just said that? The voice sounds really scary and vicious. The hoarse voice seemed mocking and disgusting. There's also the wheezing breath. So scary. Bob's group is very aggressive. They even brought weapons into school. Do they think this is demon hunting? Today is Halloween. Lucas kicked the chair Nick was sitting in and said, Nick, you go with Bob's group so they can protect you. I don't see why you guys don't all stay at school. There are many curious people. The school will now hold a Halloween party for this event. Rarely do we have a true monster. After school, many people are guaranteed to come. Look, it's those crazy farmers. There are all sorts of things that come with filming. They watched me everywhere. David pulled me away roughly. They filmed him too. They pointed and said it was the boyfriend in the movie with Final Girl. Oh, that's Johnny Depp's role in part 1 of that series, right? That's the most popular girl in this school. Coming from art school in California and from Hollywood, oh my God. I heard that Hollywood has invited her to be the female lead in the next part of that series. I saw Ms. Tracy's angry, explosive eyes. I bet she won't leave me alone today. I quickly went back to class to meet Alan. I heard the whole class talking about how strong Freddy is. He can control others, or has all the power in a dream. In just a blink of an eye, he can assimilate the victim into the body of the car and cause an accident. Or crawl out of the victim's body. Suck all the life out of your body with one kiss. Or emerge from the test. Teleports the victim anywhere in the dream for him to pursue. Even in comic books or even in outdated video games. Now I don't dare sleep. I'm very worried about Alan. I sat and heard loud screams outside. The sound of explosions in the distance was very clear. The two girls at the table above turned pale and said, "Hey. Wasn't it true that Freddy's victim had his body assimilated into the car and an accident occurred? Oh my God, we were just talking. Let's see how it goes." They are noisy even during lunch hour. The schoolyard was full of people running out to see the car crash. Now even girls who work as prostitutes or striptease come to school to watch. And there are some guys like big drug traffickers. I saw them stop Alan and then patted his shoulder and said, "I heard you are also on the list. You're grown up, kid. You have to join our gang. We pay very well. Just like your brother. Has it been released yet?" He pushed them away and they grabbed his shoulders. This school. The students' screams spread throughout the parking lot. People parked in the parking lot to watch. The shout is, "Stay away from the X-era cars." Ah! There was an explosion. A car is on fire. The fire burned along lines of gasoline spilled on the road. Then it burned in a circle around the school. The fire truck arrived very quickly, but they stood there and watched. There is no more noise. Just burnt lines on the road surface. It's so pathetically small. Then the whole group moved from the yard upstairs to the rooftop to watch the fire. They even forgot to be afraid to go and see the cars leaking gasoline. Then another car caught fire and it exploded. They just screamed in surprise. Students ran outside to watch and just stood there watching. It's so great. So sublime. Great. You mean, don't let us leave here? Ah. There's David. He stood wide-eyed in the middle of the field. In the smoke and fire. Lucas and Mark grabbed him and pulled him in. He also pulled Charles and yelled at them both to get inside. This monster's strength is probably beyond our expectations. I'm worried about the two of you. Must be more careful. Especially you, David. Don't even think about facing this monster in your dreams and destroying it. Lucas said. Oh my God. You can't be so reckless. Freddy is the one who causes very scary deaths. A very beautiful girl ran up and said, "There is a very famous Catholic girls' school here, for children of well-off families, not miscreants like this school. There are many girls wearing neat uniforms and they are here to attend a party." Sally passed by and greeted the group. Apparently they compete in the state cheerleading competition. Phoebe walked over and smiled and said, "You must be very angry. You just came at the right time. You look so ordinary and unattractive. You have rich parents, right? I heard that at gifted arts schools, they also reserve special spots for rich children. You're just a nobody with a little talent. Anyone can sing. Now in LA, the center of cinema, even high school kids are full of talent. You think cheerleading is easy? Everyone practices gymnastics since childhood. I broke my ligament and couldn't compete. Please wait. We will return you to your rightful place." They passed by the group and pushed my shoulder. They are right. They are so beautiful and sexy. Alan said loudly, "In the movie Camp Rock they said the same thing to Demi Lovato, or in another Cinderella they said the same thing to Selena Gomez. Or in Dreamgirls, they also talk about black girl groups like that. But those are the people who will succeed, and have the desire to prove to everyone how wrong they are." Alan spoke very loudly. Everyone in the hallway turned to look at him. Someone is clapping. Many students also clapped. His friend hit Alan on the shoulder and said, "Oh my God. You dare say it again." Nowadays, even if there are some hateful people or people who want to talk to you, you have no time to say anything. Now you do something stupid. Some people burst out laughing and kicked the table at Alan's feet and said, "You kid wants to be a hero. I go back to class. Ah. Someone's foot is bothering me. I fell down and something fell on me. I heard some fake apologies. What is this? There were a few voices. Deserve it. Is that the one who wants to be the center of attention? Well, school queens are the same. She is the final girl who thinks everyone must die. There's a final girl ranking in those movies. I think she's ranked last in the final girl category. She's useless. I wonder what the hell is up with her. Lucas also asked Charles, "Are you sure it's him? And David, are you sure this girl is your girlfriend and not Lisa?" Alan helped me up and put a coat on me. I pushed him away to run to the toilet. Without Freddy, everything would be bad. I'm bothering Alan to lend me something again. Those are his clothes too. T-shirt with jeans. In my locker, someone poured red ink into the slot and then Alan said, another person died. They were stabbed to death with many scratches on their bodies. The stab wound was like iron nails piercing through the body. So that's Freddy. Maybe they happened to fall asleep and... I said quickly. Alan nodded and said, yeah. Nick's car exploded in the accident. Charles couldn't stand it anymore. He said he was very sleepy. Next is David and then Lisa. To you. Is that right? Really? Alan said, didn't you ask who the 3 dead people were? You seem to know that the dead people are not your friends. Huh? Ah, it's just during class. I turned around but felt restless. I heard my friends talking and saying, someone died in that backyard. The soccer field has a mesh fence behind the rugby field. There's usually no one there practicing soccer. Our school doesn't have a football team, that field is deserted. Only occasionally do some kids go there to play tennis or middle school kids come to borrow the court. One person died right in the hallway. It looked like he was standing and just fell asleep for a bit. Right there. There were a lot of people passing by and suddenly he fell down. It's Freddy. There was shouting in the hallway. The whole class seemed to be waiting for that. The teacher even opened the door. It's Lisa's class. She fainted in class. And they screamed because they witnessed something. This time I witnessed Freddy's power with my own eyes. I saw Lisa's body sitting on the back of the chair. Her eyes were closed but she was trying to open them. Her body kept shaking like a person wanting to wake up from a lucid dream. Her friends are trying to wake her up. I saw a long scratch on her face. Then her finger dripped blood. Then suddenly her mouth vomited water. Lots of water. They screamed terribly. I covered my mouth. This is torture. So, in order, Lisa should be Charles first. He said he was sleepy and had to sleep. Then, it's him. Freddy is. I won't accept it. I want to go out tonight. Impossible. You're forbidden to leave the house after 8 p.m. It's like that now. Today I have to ban you even more. Dad, you're so unreasonable. I'm in high school now. Go to school and then come back to study more. It's already night, there's no time to go out with friends anymore. Now everyone goes out and comes home at 9 or 10 o'clock. We also go out to eat together, have tea together, and just come over to play. Mom, look at that. My friends have been playing together for a long time. No one is bad. We must go today, we've already made an appointment. It's Halloween, it's so fun now. Go Mom. Clear way. Mom agrees with Dad. If you want to play, invite all your friends over to my house to play like always. My parents told me that I should never go out at night. Dangerous. You're old enough to figure it out. Even the fortune teller. Well, I'm a big boy now. Not a child. But in this day and age, why do parents listen to those scammers? At that time, my family was in another countryside, now we are in the city. Forbidding your child to go out at night is unreasonable. I'm so angry. Even for birthdays that were held at a friend's house, my parents didn't let me go. A few years in middle school, my friends ostracized me because they thought I was too good to attend my classmates' birthdays. Are there any parents like you? What are you crying for, you child? Yelling won't help anything. Teacher Ba or Teacher Sao both told you not to go out at night anymore. When you were little, you almost died. Just bear with it for a few more years. Hey, why are you suddenly leaving? Hurry out to eat and then go to school in the afternoon. The rice is cold now. Hey. Hurry up and eat, don't cry anymore. Or, it's already grown up, sir. Now that the kids play together, on important days like birthdays and dates, if they don't go together, they start to hate each other. Besides, when the kids go out to celebrate Halloween together, they stay indoors and don't go out. Or let him go outside because he won't eat and then he'll be upset. I think I'll let him go play this holiday. Christmas is coming, then New Year and New Year, then the full moon month of the 7th lunar month. If he asks again, I don't know what to do. I think this ceremony is small, they just wear costumes and take pictures to show each other off. Last year, Han's children went to Nock's house to prepare some fun Halloween dishes, making sausages into fingers, pouring tomato sauce, and baking pizza. My child cried all day because of his regret. I think it's okay for him to go out with friends this holiday season. Only the children who are eager to learn the rituals in the West display a few small things for fun. It's better than the other holidays, when they wander around having fun. At that time the roads are crowded everywhere, or the 3 days of worshipping ghosts, worshipping grandparents, and worshipping Tet are the most scary. Yeah, well, you made him promise to go to this ceremony and then he wouldn't ask to go out anymore. Tell Nock and Ha to watch out for her. Yes, okay, call him out to eat. Then ask them what they plan to do. It is forbidden to go to the park or the street. Only allowed to go to friends' houses or go out to eat in decent restaurants. If there's anything, let's go there and pick it up. Okay, the makeup is done. The costumes are a bit cheesy in a Halloween style, but everyone looks like they have a great atmosphere. Go to the photography section. The girls gathered together to pose. It was so fun, almost all the girls in the class came. Some people invite friends or others bring younger siblings. So it's like a small party. It's more fun than birthdays or regular get-togethers. Thanks to Ha's group, he begged his uncle to lend the karaoke bar for the party. The decoration is very eye-catching. So there are some customers here and there, not all alone. Thanks to my organization, we got guests. Even though it opened 3 months ago, it's still stagnant. This time we will hold a party here to attract guests. Ha boasted, holding a white cloth ghost with nylon hair. I just feel like crap. Mainly because the decorations are left on the street and curious customers come in to look at them. They leave after half an hour of renting a theater room because the restaurant is old, the system is not good, the songs are old, the lights are bad, the toilet is small, and the air conditioner is loud. There are not many wait staff with no food or drink service. Karaoke shops now want to be hot and have to constantly upgrade. I tried to support the girls' shop before, but it didn't seem okay. I invited a friend from another class, but they refused. Chi said. Not at all. The other shops are good, but they only have 3 dim lights, and they look terrible. Enough evils exist to attract young people. The restaurant is empty, so it's suitable for a gathering of friends. Only our group is crowded. But that's good, just like the rest of us. Go buy food and eat. Then it's time to organize a few small games for fun. Knock said. I was just posing with my hand and making the V sign to take a photo with Fwong and her 2 younger siblings. When I heard that, I quickly ran over and said, yes. To buy boba milk tea with mixed rice paper. Many people brought food, but it was all junk. My and Han's group were assigned to bring food, and they only brought a little spicy rice cake and French fries. It was all gone. Or ask each person to pool 20,000 and have a great party. What game are you playing after you're done? All 3 looked at me. Chi said, you should stay in one place. Your parents have warned you all very carefully. And I have to follow your lie and organize it at my house. If you have something to do, your parents will probably shave our heads. I'm so scared. What if you wander around and get caught by a ghost? My face fell. When I'm having fun / if I stay in one place, I stay in one place. Knock pushed hot and said, is it true that he was once captured by a ghost and then saved, but he never escaped from the ghost's hands? Will ghosts look for it? How disgusting. Is there such a thing again? What have you ever done? Ha didn't pay attention to adjusting her cat ears and said, oh, 3 superstitious things. This girl's family is in the countryside. As you know, in the countryside people don't believe in superstitions about ghosts. Then there are 3 stories about children being captured by ghosts or being lured away by ghosts and taken away. Unexpectedly, there are still people who believe it. But isn't it nice to see ghosts? Like in some comics or movies, we consider the female protagonists to have psychic powers. You went from ordinary to special. It will be famous. Ha said. Well, I really want it too. Like Korean movies, the female lead has psychic or telepathic powers. It's both good and attractive, and also accompanies the male lead throughout the movie. There is also a group that specializes in taking on special missions, with actions and emotions. The guys are still super cool and superhuman. But it's not like the ghost cases in our grandparents' superstitions. All 3 ghosts with long, creepy hair, or some ghosts, hanged ghosts sticking out their tongues. Oh, it all sounds old and outdated. Have the courage to put money in the Halloween bag. I am a temporary treasurer. Oh, my waist. It's so crowded and there's so much money. I pulled Bach's shirt and said, hey man, your eldest sons came to eat and drink and each contributed 1,000. Bach roared into the microphone, picked up the mic and yelled back at me, saying, these guys are very decent. Each of them spent 15,000. We just arrived, we haven't eaten or drank anything yet. Just drank 1 piece of soft drink. But why do women pour out a bunch of glasses of soft drinks in advance? It's all out of gas. All the boys joined in. Wow. Is that true? Pour enough glasses. Maybe the other kids were quick to act quickly and then one person poured the other so there was a surplus? But why do you have so much money? The boys said to be open-minded. It's starting to get crowded. I glanced back and forth. Or maybe many people haven't put any money in yet. I grabbed the mic to shout again, donate money to buy food supplies. Chi quickly took out a stack of about 100,000 and said, okay, hurry up. Yen and Dat's group from class 11D saw the picture we sent and told them to come over after studying more. I heard they are inviting both 10th and 12th graders. No more details. Why use your own money to buy food in advance and then collect the money from the newcomers to pay it back? Hurry up, each of you take a hand. God, it's so crowded. Just be quick. Hey, there are some kids who listen to boys in other classes being so chatty. Must go quickly. Divide each person to go to each place. Died. Aunt Han came and grabbed my neck and said, "Where are you going? But you dare to sneak out here? Your mother said she would." Hey, my parents let me go. What ghost? People want to see this, they have the supernatural ability to see ghosts. I said, smiling. Tao said bewilderedly, huh? This person made a rare appearance today. How many times have you had a birthday? But wait, has he really seen a ghost? Ghost? Tell me about it. Seeing ghosts means having a sixth sense. Can you tell fortunes or see the future like in the movies? If you can do it, then say it. Nan typed in a sentence and saw that he hated it. Today's costume is similar to mine, it's all Little Witch. So here's the challenge. I also want to awaken superpowers like in the movie. But I don't remember anything when I was little. Trang said, oh, it's like the manga Rinne or 100 Ghosts in. You accidentally saw a ghost and perhaps had a predestined relationship with the underworld and later met the male lead there. Then he also makes you promise to stay by your side all the time. Kia.